Try this again. Good morning, guys. So, I haven't made a video in several days. I've had just a lot go on. I guess more frustrated than anything. Um, so, let's see. The insurance on this rental property looks like it's coming to a decision. So, hopefully, soon. The blue tarp roof, they came back out and put another tarp on top of the roof and did another roof inspection. Now the insurance company is going to pay for a full roof, 30-year shingle, double felted, whatever. Lot of damage inside on my tenant's side. So a lot of drywall and insulation work. Good morning. A lot of drywall and insulation work to go on. I don't think that the tenants have an idea of what is about to go down. But first and foremost is a roof. Without a roof, can't do anything, right? So anyway, total on the insurance comes out to like $21,000. So it worth of damages. So minus the deductible and depreciation, it's whatever. So I mean, now I'm still waiting on estimates for the roof. So if I had to take a stab at it, I would guess that it would be the cost of the deductible would be the cost of the roof. Anyway, which is all right with insurance. If it becomes a named storm, whether that's a tropical storm or a depression, even, then it makes your deductible go up like 4 times or 5 times. So, yeah. Anyway, the so we got the roof is about to go down sometime soon. Today's like the 4th of November, and I want to say like the 18th of November is Peoria, Illinois. So that's the next crypto meetup I'm going to. If y'all are interested, go to clintwestwood.net and go take a look. So those are the next couple of meetups coming up shortly that I'll be attending. Anyway, more going on with the house. So I got the new alarm system set up. I was with AT&T Digital Life, and it seems Brink's Home Security bought out AT&T, right? Great. I added 2 additional surveillance cameras and some other stuff, and the other cameras were not installed because they didn't have a ladder tall enough to install it. So, and a few other things like I don't understand the disconnect from one company merger to another, right? Where like my passphrase and whatnot for the alarm did not transfer. My information has not transferred. I cannot get a copy of the paperwork for the insurance company yet. I guess I have to prove who I am and all of this stuff to Brinks. Good morning. So anyway, other things with Brinks, I can't set a password or a passphrase. I cannot have anyone come out and install the other 2 cameras, and as well as I can't have the smoke detectors put in to then connect to the system, and because that wasn't done yet. And let's see, what else? I can't even order yard signs and window stickers yet from Brinks. It's like that. It's hung up like that. So I got to make a copy. They want a copy of my driver's license. I said, you're talking to someone who's legally blind. It's like, look, I have a state issued ID. Okay, I can do that. And of course, it's Alex from the Middle East I'm talking to. So, I wonder what their middle and last names are. So you tell me your name is Jason. What's your middle name, Jason? What's your last name? Or do you have like 11 names? So anyway. Right. Who was that? Ross Perot. This great sucking sound. How correct that man was, right? A lot of people say different things about these different other people. I think it's a businessman that needs to run the country of the United States. Because if you're not business minded, how are you going to set up these different deals and know when you're getting screwed? But anyway, printer just goes burr. Whatever. So I got a bit I have to prove to Brinks Home Security to get anything done, and that'll take a couple days. So, I mean, and the other thing is, I even asked them over the phone. I was like, well, what do you do for what do you do for clients who require more security? Like say for instance, because what I want is something totally different. You should want this too. Whereas if someone were to have you at gunpoint, you could then disarm the alarm system. And sirens and all would stop, everything else would stop. It would seem as though it is disarmed, and it would show a green light. However, it would automatically send or dispatch the police immediately. So that's one other thing that I want this company to do. It's like, why don't you understand that? Or to a point where if the alarm is sounding or my phone is ringing, to then have a different code word to say as though I'm being robbed, but just in one word. So I could just say water, something like that. And that means disarm the system, send the police immediately. Something like that. Or even a different number to press into the keypad. That's all I'm looking for. But and this jackass says something like code blue. Code blue. You're dead. You are dead. Have you ever been robbed? Have you ever had a gun pointed at your head while talking to an alarm company? And you want me to say code blue? You're stupid. You're dead. Whatever. So anyway, I can't make any sort of changes to the alarm system or whatnot till I prove who I am. Okay. Next thing. Oh man. I'm just so damn sore, y'all. I overdid myself. I did a ton of yard work, really gardening. So I got all the shrubs or hedges planted across the front of the house, got all the bricks laid out correctly, and a lot of new soil, and weeded all of it, and put a weed barrier down, ton of mulch. I mean, it was like 20 bags of mulch just in the front, just in a small section. Good morning. Y'all are busy this morning, ain't you? So anyway, that took a full day to do all of that with the weed barrier and pulling weeds and everything else. And then I also did around the orange tree out front, pulling weeds out there. Man, I'm so damn sore. Every day is like, I begin the day with like 4 Advil and 3 cups of coffee. So, yeah. So anyway, I also pressure washed all the concrete, all the new concrete, the driveways, all the concrete all the way around the house, all the stairs, everything is done. And then don't you know it, the wheels of the pressure washer left a black mark on the concrete. You know, by the front door, nonetheless. So now I got to go get that. I'm going to go do that here shortly in the next 30 minutes or so, but go take care of that. So that way then that's done. The tenant side, I've got 2 toilets messed up, and the front door lock is not latching all the way. The long throw deadbolt is not going in. It's totally weird. So you can close the door and turn the knob, and it'll throw the deadbolt into the wall. You go outside, you put the key in to turn it, and it will not go into the wall. I've never encountered anything, and I mean, I'm talking pulling on the door, lifting up on the door, pushing down on the door. It will not throw. It won't throw. But you close the door from the inside, it'll throw. It's like, what the hell? I've never come across that. The strike plate on the actual door frame, I'm going to get a file and file that down just a little bit. I'm not going to go crazy with it because, like I said, from the inside, it will lock. Everything's nice and tight. I just don't get it. And I found something else out with the locks that is just like blows my damn mind. Brand new locks I put in, my side and next door. And I've never encountered this, so, but I'm not going to say it here. Mainly, I don't want the tenants to know either. So, yeah. I'm also going to beef up the security a bit. It's a concrete slab, so I'm going to drill a hole in through the tile and into the concrete slab, deep enough to where I can drop, you know those large bars, it's like a large L, right? And you put that on your gate, like a large gate, and into the concrete you drill a hole and it'll fall into the hole, so that way then the gate won't move. It'll lock the gate in place. Well, that's what I'm going to do, but behind each entry door, the front and the back doors, so that way then you can kick it all you want, you ain't coming in. So but I'm looking for something more of like a stainless steel version. I don't want just a black, you know, I went up to Lowe's looking, and, I want something, at least something that looks decent, so that way every night you can just drop that in front of the door, and, no one can kick the door in. So, because I mean, a child can kick your front door in or your back door. So I beefed up all the hinges and the strike plates and all of that kind of stuff, as well as the frame into the studs behind it, as well as I put a metal plate behind the door frame, so that way when the deadbolt throws or the lock in through the wood, it will also rest behind the metal, as well as larger deck screws and whatnot to because a 3/4 inch screw in through pine, that does nothing. Like I said, a child can kick that in. So anyway, beefing up the doors and everything on the tenant side and my side. Let's see, what else is going on? Across the street, I made an offer on a duplex across the street. No word, no phone call, no email, no nothing. So I don't know what they want to do. It's getting worse every day. It needs a roof on it, and when it rains, the water is just gushing right into the house. You know, they have no insurance. I know they don't have the means to put that kind of money into it. So, and I got another estimate on that roof. It's funny, I get an estimate on to build a roof like that. To put a pitch roof on it. It's a flat tar roof, but the tar needs to be repaired and redone because the old roof blew off of it and took part of the roof with it, which is why it's got like permanent skylights in the building. So all the inside has to be gutted. Morning. It's a complete gut job, right? And so I'm thinking that from the estimate I gave them, which is way more than what someone probably should offer, right? If they're looking at that and thinking they're getting $1 more, they're crazy. That ain't gonna happen at all. And I got notifications going off on the side like crazy on this computer. I don't understand. I'll get to it. But, I bet they're looking at, well, how much, I want double that. I'm, wishful thinking, really. But that ain't going to happen. No one is going to pay top dollar for a building that is basically condemned, right? I'm looking to take it over because I like the style of it. It's similar to mine in that it'll take a bit of work to put into it to really fix it up. But here's my issue, right? Okay, so my offer was $100,000 onto this other duplex. And it's already had the elevation of 3 feet in elevation, but the outsides I have to completely redo. It's not done properly. It looks like crap. It should not have been done that way. So all of that has to be gutted and redone. A lot more concrete, a lot more work to go on for that. So anyway, so my offer was 100. I got an estimate to build the roof and all on it. It's going to cost closer to $40,000 because of the cost of materials have gone up. So like where the pitch roof that I had put on this house or this duplex cost $20,000, today would probably cost about $30,000. However, what I'm looking to do over there is going to be closer to $40,000 for a roof. So off the bat, we had 140. Then add another 20 for the air conditioners. Bam, 160. So and then the work outside. That's another 10 to 12,000 on the front. Then another 10,000 on. I mean, the numbers just get stupid, right? So basically, I'm looking at 100,000 for the land and the structure itself. That's it. Not paying for nothing else. And like I said, that's more than fair. Way more than fair, really. Because the way I'm looking at it, it's going to take the bare minimum of $125,000 to go into the property, probably closer to $200,000 to go into the property. So bam, there's $300,000 off the top, right? So that if crypto does, or I should say when crypto does go up in value, during this market cycle, not next market cycle, not like batshit crazy yet, right? So during next market cycle, my intention was Puerto Rico or Puerto Rico. Anyway, the for 0% capital gains. However, I had this discussion with a friend last night. By moving to Puerto Rico, that doesn't mean you have zero taxes. That means zero in capital gains versus your crypto. That's it. So you still pay taxes, whether that's income, whatnot. Now, the zero capital gains is Article 22. Now, Article 20 is if you have, say, an online business or something like that. You pay less in taxes, yes, but you still pay taxes. It is not tax-free. So there's a big distinction there. Anyway, by me dropping 300 into this other property to get it to the way that I want it, that would take away from my Puerto Rico idea of like a fourplex is what I would like. So that way I can live in one and rent the other three out, or lease the other three out, whether that's a Airbnb or through and some sort of an agency to list, like for weddings and whatnot. People get married all the time and go to Puerto Rico. So, or different events even. So something like that, just a listing agency, basically. And I live in one, and I'm just a maintenance man, Mr. Miyagi. Anyway, so that 300 would take away from what I would be looking at to invest in Puerto Rico, which would be like 600,000 or 900,000 into a fourplex there. But at the same time, we're still dealing with this pandemic, so not a ton of people are really traveling a lot. It's not like what it used to be. So that's a side thought. But, I don't know. Okay, here's where I'm at. If that does not go down, if they do not accept my offer, that actually doesn't hurt me. So instead of dropping 100,000 onto the property and then starting to do other stuff and having, basically, I would just leave it like that, gutted and everything, as storage, as a large storage place for tools and materials, that sort of stuff, till I finish this duplex, right? And surveillance and alarm system, everything, every door and every window, beefed up security because of squatters and all of this kind of stuff. So if I don't put 100 towards this other rental property, then I think I'm gonna go ahead this market cycle and just. Here's a little dilemma I have, and to this market cycle, then to pay off this property, which I only owe 51,000 on. So, which at the same time, it's paid in full in 4 years anyway. So, just at the current rent, I grandfathered the tenants in at the same rent that they were paying before I dropped all of this into this property. They had no idea, and it was like, I would rather keep those tenants than, other people coming in and destroying the property at the moment. So, I didn't want to go up on the rent, and besides, right now it needs a bit of work. So after the Hurricane Ida, so they're willing to deal with. Like right now, the hurricane was August 29th, and here it is November 4th. And I still have yet to get a check from the insurance company. I've yet to get I mean, I'm trying to work on estimates and stuff, but it's just like, wow, dude. So yeah, I've been dealing with a lot of bullshit lately, trying to get stuff done and this and that. And my goodness, dude, it's like pulling teeth, you know. Anyway, so here's my dilemma with, okay, this property I owe 51 on. Now we've yet to hit the blow off top in this market cycle, in my opinion. So by taking the 51 out, I may actually lose out. That 51,000 could end up being a half mil, you know, a good 10x during this market cycle, right? So that 51 grand could end up costing me 500 grand with it in the market. However, if things don't go as planned, I still win. I then paid this property off in full. Now I've already done so much work to this property. Look, I've already won, right? But I'm just talking like a slam dunk, you know, just pay it off, or do I just let things ride until a little bit more of capital gains come in? So it's a tough decision to make. The hardest thing to do is to push the sell button in a bull market. That's the hardest decision you're going to have to make. And I'm still torn on it. Because, like I said, I could go ahead and do that now, or let it ride, and the house is paid in full in 4 years. Either way. Either way, right? So what do you do? Do you go for the slam dunk? Like I said, you've already won. You've already gotten so much done on the property, and you're able to finish it. You know, even all of this, you know, above me, around me, all of this can be finished. I've already taken the profit out of the market in order to complete the entire duplex. That's not the issue. The issue is, well, beside the point. What do you do? What do you do? So that's kind of where I'm at. If across the street does not accept my offer, I think I'm going to go for the slam dunk and pay off this property. And then watch. As soon as I do that, then they're going to try to get back with the offer that I gave. Because, like I said, with permanent skylights and water just gushing into the property, it's destroyed, you know, and they had no insurance. And I know they don't have the capital to put into it to fix it up. You know, assuming it's paid in full. Assuming it's paid in full. So if it is paid in full, then that does benefit them. They could then get another mortgage and then do it that way, but I doubt it. I think that they're done. I think they're done. So it's like between, you know, the old man who lives there on one side, and then the daughter lives on the other side, and then the son lives out somewhere. The son has not done a thing, has not put a dollar back into the property, nothing. And so it's like just the son and the daughter going back and forth. And, you know, that's the issue with, like, say, leasing to family. You know, they get the family discount, right? Which leaves no room for things to be fixed. No surplus, no escrow off on the side. You know, that's great and all, you helping your family. But sometimes you have to look at this as a business decision. So, I mean, look, I own the property, right? I still pay rent. Yes, I pay myself rent every month. or I pay my trust rent every month. So I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get why you wouldn't have insurance in a hurricane-prone area anyway. That's just crazy. That is crazy. Now, granted, I have no idea what they were facing before. Some of my other neighbors, their deductibles or this go around are like $20,000. Before the insurance will give them out a penny. You know, my good thing is that my trustee was also the vice president of the largest property and casualty insurance company in the Southeast United States. So I got a good one. I've but it has taken a while, but I know it's going to get done. You know, as far as replacement value of the property, I know I'm very much underinsured. However, I got to get through all these renovations and stuff to then get an appraisal. But then, at the same time, won't that then raise my property tax? And I don't mean like a little, I mean like a lot, right? Because New Orleans is a Democrat-run city, okay? No hiding that from anyone. And they just increased the property taxes by 30%. 30%. And the property taxes have already been out the wazoo, right? It's not like other places where your property taxes are $1,500 a year. No. So if your property taxes here in New Orleans are $10,000 a year, yeah, 10 grand a year in property tax. Now you owe 13,000 a year in property tax. This is another issue that I have with not only the monetary system but the tax system. Can they then just keep increasing? Basically, how the old saying goes, you'll lose the farm, right? So back in the day, all these farmers went in and they got these cheap loans, these cheap mortgages, cheap loans, whatnot, during the time of like the bond vigilantes, right? So then they could change the interest rates and do all of this other kind of stuff. And, the farmer then has the money to pay off the mortgage or the loan. And, oh no, at the last second, now you owe this amount. At that point, I see more than pitchforks. I see a manhunt at that point. Because it's already getting stupid here. I mean, stupid, right? I mean, how much is enough? Your fair share? Tax the rich? You mean anyone who earns more than 30 grand a year? That's what it sounds like. Same thing like with this Janet Yellen coming out talking about unrealized gains. Unrealized. No, dude. So, on realized gains, I can see that. When I convert back into dollars or do stuff like that, or from one property in the sale of it or something like that, that I can understand. For me, just increasing, for me dropping this amount of money into a property to fix it up, for it then to be assessed at a higher value, those gains are not realized. That's unrealized gains. So you're going to want to go around and tax every single homeowner just because the value of the property has gone up. They owe more in taxes. If that day comes, there will be a revolt. So Taxation without representation. Spend to oblivion and tax the rich, meaning those of us who earn more than $30,000 a year. Right. Watch what they do, not what they say. Y'all be cool. Later.